Ladies and gentlemen, it is now official. Elon Musk Doge announces audit into the SEC for fraud, abuse, and waste. We have a lot to talk about. I think that it's safe to say that things are about to get very, very interesting around this space in the coming weeks and months going forward. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So this announcement is definitely a significant one because for the longest time, and I'm sure that you guys are all aware at this point, XRP holders have been calling for the SEC to be investigated. We know that there's been a lot of fraud. We know that there's been a lot of, abuse happening within the crypto space. I mean, it's very clear for the last 4+ years, this space has been completely backed into a corner and attacked from all sides by the SEC. And no, there hasn't been any fair, come in and, we'll work on this, or, meet with us and we'll give you a full transparent breakdown of what, you need to do. No, there's been none of that. It hasn't been a fair battle. It's been, the SEC saying, guess what? You're not compliant. We're going to, hit you with a massive fine and you're going to have to pay for it, or you're going to have to pay for it in legal fees, which is just ridiculous, especially from a government agency. But if we actually look at the announcement, here we have the announcement. Now, this is a confirmed account because it is followed by Elon Musk. Elon Musk actually quoted this post as well. But here we have the official announcement. Doge is seeking help from the public. Please DM this account with insights on findings and fixing waste, fraud, and abuse related to the SEC. So, 16.9 million views, 38,000 likes. The engagement on this was insane. And, well, if we look at all the comments, guys, they are all pertaining to Ripple and XRP. It's actually kind of shocking. But we have been waiting for this for a long time. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of additional things involved here. Number one, the big thing that comes up to me outside of Ripple and XRP and outside of like all the crypto stuff, GameStop, AMC. I mean, we all know what happened, right? It's a ridiculous, again, like another ridiculous, I would say it's kind of similar to crypto in a way that an agency stepped in to protect the big players from retail. Retail got completely targeted while the big players continued on, making their money, getting richer. So again, I do think that the SEC has a big problem in front of it, and that is the Department of Government Efficiency. But outside of this, check out some of the responses. Number one, Laura Loomer. Guys, 1.4 million. 1.4 million followers. You might want to start by investigating former SEC employee Bill Hinman, whose OIG report the SEC is still refusing to release. Guys, this is one to focus on. She put out a thread on the 13th, mind you, 1.1 million views, crazy engagement as well. And she did do a complete breakdown of even the Ripple effect on crypto winter. Because she was talking about Ripple as a company. Talking about how, they found themselves in this prolonged legal battle that was a never-ending battle. Guys, it feels as though the truth is about to come out. Johnny Deaton also responding. He posted his post going all the way back to 2022 because, again, that's how long this has been going on. It feels like forever, right? 4+ years now. Again, this post got significant traction. At this time, there was no views on X, so we don't know how many views. But again, it still got significant traction during the bear market, mind you, as well. But there has been so much information on the SEC and on the corruption, the manipulation, the attacks, the disgusting nature that this agency was working within for years, even prior, to Gary Gensler taking office. Also, Ashley Prosper 1, perhaps Doge, would also take a look at the 201 responsive documents the SEC withheld in relation to communications with JP Morgan about Ripple and or XRP. And yeah, if you guys did forget that, 201 out of the 217 documents were withheld. These are in response to Ashley's FOIA request, and these all pertain back to JP Morgan and the emails regarding Ripple and XRP. What are they hiding? That's the big question. We are hoping that a lot of this information does get to see the light of day, though, right? I think that this investigation is going to be huge if it does lead to anything. Also over here, we have a quote from Johnny Dean. He's talking about, hey, Elon Musk and Doge, you guys need to talk to me. I could show you a few things that I've learned and helped expose the last few years. Yeah, I think that the truth behind the SEC deserves to be told. There's been so much money lost within this battle. There's been so much retail money drained from the space. There's a lot of people that lost so much money because of what the SEC did. When will this be answered? When will we finally get some sort of clarity on this? We're hoping that this is that point, that turning point where we finally see what was really going on behind the scenes. And by the way, don't forget what Brad Garlinghouse said back in 2022. He was quoting Ripple CLO Stuart Alderoty. The SEC wants you to think that it cares about disclosure, transparency, and clarity. Don't believe them. When the truth eventually comes out, the shamefulness of their behavior here will shock you. Now, Stuart Alderoty put out a post talking about how over 18 months and 6 court orders later, we finally have the Hinman docs, internal SEC emails and drafts of his infamous 2018 speech. While they remain confidential for now because of what the SEC was, insisting, I can say that it was well worth the fight to get them. So again, we haven't really, heard anything about this too much since then. But I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for these to really kind of see the light of day. I think that Doge is going to really kind of open a can of worms for the SEC. And I think it really starts with putting a spotlight on Bill Hinman. This is going to be a big one. If we finally see this, I think that this is going to be a big one. Also, CLO at Coinbase. Here's one. Adopt the rule that defendants who defeat the SEC Gov lawsuits get all their attorney fees and costs from the commission budget. Guys, look at the first response. It's Stuart Alderoty. I have the receipts. Guess what? Those receipts total over $200+ million paid by Ripple. If this happens, imagine how much ammunition Ripple will have to expand, build, grow. This is something that is very, very interesting. And I really do think that if we have something like this passed, where we have this role, it's going to be huge for the entire crypto industry. Because we will see a lot of growth in and around the crypto industry from names like, for an example, Ripple, because you could do a lot with $200 million. And remember what I said back in April of 2024, last year. The SEC has wasted over 3 years worth of time trying to argue a never-ending battle with Ripple. The worst part is that billions of taxpayer money was also wasted during this battle. I didn't even mention the $15 billion in damages to XRP investors, and that was just from the announcement. That was day one damages. Ripple dished out $200 million plus in legal fees, but just think about the missed opportunities. Imagine what that $200 million could have funded if it was utilized properly, which we hope to get back. The saddest part about all of this is the argument that this entire battle was to protect investors. All I have noticed from this almost 4-year-long process is a corrupt government agency trying to back a nascent industry into the corner. There is a clear motive to pick winners and losers, but also someone is also getting paid. It's sad that we are still all here in the middle of this over 3 years later. And now it's officially 4, right? So we're 4 years into this and it's still not done. This battle is still ongoing. Taxpayer money is still being wasted. This needs to stop. This needs to stop now. And by the way, that $15 billion in damages that I mentioned in this post, big shout out to Defend Dark over on X. Check this out. I asked Grok to prepare a matrix regarding the SEC's actions and their impact on crypto investors between 2020 and 2025. I'm leaving it here in case you need it. I want to thank X, Grok, and Elon Musk for creating an environment supporting freedom of speech. Respectfully, Dark. Guys, look at how crazy this is. Now, again, these figures are just estimated. 2020, Ripple Labs, number 1 on the board. Look at this. Rough magnitude of losses. Again, this is just upon the announcement. $10 to $30 billion. That's the market cap of XRP affected, right? Like, we're not even talking about how much money was lost by retail investors. Then we have 2021, which is the continued enforcement. $5 to $15 billion in terms of the actual market impact, general market impact, by the way. 2022, this is DeFi projects and exchanges being targeted. $15 to $45 billion impacted. Then 2023, lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase, $50 to $100 billion. 2024, $10 to $30 billion. Then 2025, $5 to $20 billion ongoing legal and market reactions. The total here is between $95 to $240 billion. I actually think that number, believe it or not, even though it sounds massive, is much larger. We got to think about missed opportunities, liquidations. How much money was actually lost within the trading environment? We have no idea to calculate the damages here. I think that it could be upwards of anywhere between 500 billion to maybe even $1 trillion plus. We don't know how to accurately, estimate the damages here. This is a good starting point, but it's just it's crazy to me that this was caused by a government agency that is here, preaching that they're protecting you and me when they clearly are not, especially when they ask for billions of dollars in terms of fines paid to them, by the way, by these companies that are in a very small industry, but then they slap the wrist of bankers like JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo. Guys, these banks are hit with like $100 million fines. Sometimes, $13 million, $30 million, $50 million fines. And guess what it's for? Manipulation of the commodities markets. I mean, these are massive banks. Aren't we supposed to make an example out of these big banks? No, instead, we want billions of dollars from these small, US-based, by the way, crypto companies. This is why it's not a fair game. This is why we demand something to happen here. That's why we are looking at what Doge is doing here. And we think that this is a big step in the right direction. If something happens from this, which I'm hopeful, I believe that there will be major repercussions on the SEC side. I think that this is going to be a huge deal for crypto. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord on the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.